I was never the type of person who enjoyed parties. The pounding music, the haze of alcohol and strangers' breath, the empty chatter that passed for conversation. It all made me feel like I'd stepped into a world that wasn't mine. But that night, my best friend Jake refused to take no for an answer. "It's just a chill get-together," he said with a grin, already certain I'd regret staying home. "Nothing crazy, just people hanging out." Before I could argue, he was tugging me out of my apartment, insisting I needed to loosen up and live a little. I didn't realize then that I wasn't just leaving my comfort zone. I was stepping into a night that would quietly, completely alter my life. When we arrived, the house looked like any other suburban gathering. The porch lights glowed dimly against the dusk. A Bluetooth speaker kept cycling through songs as someone fiddled with the playlist. Small groups of people laughed, danced, and drank with a carefree ease that always felt foreign to me. I lingered near the kitchen, holding a soda I didn't even want, while Jake disappeared into the crowd like he belonged there. I felt like a ghost hovering at the edges of someone else's story. More than once, I considered slipping out unnoticed, returning to the quiet I craved. But something inside me whispered to wait just a little longer. That's when I noticed her. She was sitting alone on the back porch, far from the noise and the chatter. No phone in her hand, no fake smile plastered on her face, no effort to pretend she was enjoying herself. She just sat there, still and thoughtful, her eyes lifted to the sky as though searching for something only she could see. In the middle of all that chaos, her calm felt like a breath of fresh air. I hesitated, nervous. But there was something about her presence, a quiet steadiness that pulled me in. It felt strangely familiar, like recognizing someone in a crowd even though I had never seen her before. Finally, I gathered enough courage to walk over and, in a soft voice, asked if I could join her. She turned toward me, and the smile she gave wasn't one of those practiced, polite ones people use at parties. It was genuine, warm, almost like an invitation. I sat down beside her, and in that instant, the party behind us seemed to dissolve into nothing. Time slipped by unnoticed as we talked, not the shallow, awkward kind of small talk I dreaded, but easy, natural conversation. She told me about her love for the stars, about stargazing with her dad before he passed, about how the night sky always made her feel close to him. And for reasons I couldn't explain, I found myself sharing things I rarely voice aloud, how crowds made me feel like I was suffocating, how I longed for quiet moments where I could just be. She didn't judge. She didn't rush to fill the silence. She simply listened, and understood. Truly understood. For the first time in a long while, I felt seen. The connection between us wasn't hurried or forced. It grew gently in the spaces between our words. As the night grew colder and guests began to leave, their laughter echoing into the street, we stayed on that porch, wrapped in a forgotten blanket, unwilling to let the moment end. When we finally stood to leave, we exchanged numbers with promises that felt like more than polite goodbyes. And those promises held. We kept seeing each other, late-night walks under the stars, coffee dates that stretched far past noon, movie marathons, book swaps, quiet evenings in the park with her telescope as she taught me to trace constellations across the sky. Without even realizing it, we had become each other's favorite person. It wasn't a whirlwind romance, nor some dramatic love story. It was something real, steady, the kind of love that feels like home. Months passed, and our bond only grew stronger. One night, as we lay beneath a sky scattered thick with stars, so much like the night we first met, I finally found the courage to say it. I told her I loved her. The way she smiled, soft, radiant, as if she had been waiting her whole life to hear those words from me, is a memory I'll never forget. I used to think life's biggest changes arrived with noise, with grand gestures and dramatic moments. But that night, I learned the truth. Sometimes everything shifts quietly, the simple magic of sitting beside someone who understands you without needing you to explain. I walked into that house expecting nothing. I walked out with the beginning of everything.